Give me that green checkbox, boy. Green. We are green. I should take a stopwatch sometime and see how long it takes from OBS saying green to when we actually go live. Oh, it's actually live now. So that was only probably 6 or 7 seconds. Anyway, welcome everyone to the 4GwQPodcast. This is episode number 134 for May 11, 2017. How's everyone doing? Thanks for coming out tonight or this afternoon, this morning, depending on your time zone. Or if you're watching this after the live broadcast, we appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. Tonight we'll be talking about the Forza Horizon 3 DLC, that Hot Wheels DLC that everyone's talking about, including Assassin on our own channel. Made a video review quickly, which was meant to be like an impressions video, people. I know a lot of people taking it a little too seriously, but it's 2 minutes long. Obviously, it's just, a review and impressions video. It's not, going in depth about the curvature and the authenticity of the tracks and all that. So take it for what it's worth. I thought it was pretty good. We're also going to talk about, we talked about last week, the Black Ops 3 Zombie Chronicles coming out pretty soon on the 16th for PS4 people, and we got a price, so we'll talk about that. Also talk about Far Cry 5, ? We'll get into that a little bit. Of course, we will talk about Clowns' favorite topic of the week, which is the FTC ban hammer on people that are reviewing things and not disclosing whether or not they were given a gift or not, or, whether they were paid or sponsored or what have you by the, by the company in question. So we'll get into that. I know Taylor and Clowns have a lot to say about that. And we're going to introduce a new segment. I know 134 episodes deep, and we're introducing a new segment. It's called Weekly Gaming News, or Weird News of the Week. I haven't decided exactly what the name's going to be, but we got a few of those. If you don't want to be spoiled on what those topics are, don't look in the description below quite yet. So I did write the description already, but anyway, quick introductions. I'm Inferno 217, making his 134th straight appearance. We got ZBCI Assassin. What's up, bud?
Hi, I'm kind of scary looking on the podcast.
Well,
zoomed in.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, good job pointing that out. I wasn't even going to say anything, to be quite honest, but, I mean, usually I'm the first one to shit all over you, but, I mean...
Well, I mean, it looks like he's been playing NBA Playgrounds, big head mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. We'll have a review of that shortly. We got a review code for that. Kind of on the late side, so sorry it didn't hit embargo, but should be a good read, good video anyway, so we'll have a review up for that. Wow, the chat is already brutal on Assassin. I mean, Jesus.
Jeez.
We also have Taylor, a.k.a. Merc. What's going on?
Hey.
And last but not least, we've got Clowns on a brand new Wi-Fi connection on a souped up router. What's going on?
What's going on, people? It's the
Jesus.
Clowns 44895.
Jesus. All right. So there we are. There are introductions. We want to quickly move through this so we can get to the topics. I know the introductions are a long part of this show. Want to shout out our affiliates. Go look down in the comments. Don't read the description, though, quite yet, because you don't want to be spoiled in the last segment. But scroll down and bookmark those links, or keep those in mind when you're doing your shopping on our affiliates. You could potentially get us a referral bonus if you shop through those links. You don't have to buy what comes up, but just click on those links, search for what you want to shop for, buy it. You don't have to pay any more money, but we will get a small chunk that will help us with this show and help with giveaways and stuff like that. So we're going to be returning it back to you. We're not going to take it and just shove it in our pockets and deposit into our bank accounts. We're going to give it back to the people. So it's not, it's not this profit scheme. So thank you.
Well, we could hire a voodoo priestess to shrink Assassin's head back down normal size.
Yes, please.
We could, yeah. I mean, apparently, so... Before we get into it, let's just discuss why Assassin's head is so large. Assassin, you took the new Windows 10 update for Skype, and apparently it zooms in quite close to your head. I mean, your head is cut off a little bit. I try to get you to...
Yeah, it zooms in, and I can't find the setting to unzoom. Like, there's just no setting to do that.
Oh, well,
I'm leaning back, and then just... It's like the Kinect. Just wants to zoom.
It is. It's just like the Kinect. Yeah, following you around the room and all that crazy shit. Yeah. So there you go, Assassin. You're gonna not see his full head tonight, but You're gonna get detail on those beautiful eyes of his.
Oh my god. Oh Jesus.
All
Help
right,
us.
let's kick it off first with some Forza Horizon DLC. Of course, Hot Wheels is now out. It's $19.99, like we talked about last week, or free with the expansion pass, not with the Ultimate Edition, as many people have pointed out on Twitter. I still very upset about that, but I do understand to a point, and I willingly paid, for the expansion pass. So,
Oh my. I'm
yeah,
sorry. This is like a comedy episode with Assassin.
yeah, the chat's really going in on him, but we kind of expected that before the show. I mean, we were talking pre-show, and I told Assassin, I said, listen, bro, you're gonna have to fix that, or else you're gonna get grilled, bro. You're gonna get grilled. So.
Well, there's no setting to like unzoom. I can select my webcam, which I only have one.
Listen, what I'll do is I will download it on my PC, on one of my PCs, and I will check it out and see what the setting is, because you need some help, bro. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I can always reload it and go back to the original one. There was two options: one that was 10 or the old version.
Right. You could do that. Anyway, so yeah, Forza DLC, the Jizzle. I want to just throw out this comment really quick by the Jizzle in the YouTube chat. He says this DLC seems so overrated. This show's just gonna be taken over by Assassin's fucking head. I mean, Jesus, we can't even get into a topic here without people in the chat going crazy. But yeah, so Assassin, you want to respond to the Jizzle saying this is overrated DLC?
I mean, I feel like nostalgia, like quoting Mooch, nostalgia is a hell of a drug. So people are, saying, "Oh, it's Hot Wheels." So I mean, it's not bad DLC. It's not the greatest. GTA, I think, did it better with the races.
Wow. Assassin did so well there getting through that without like a laugh or anything. We got clowns over there, red in the face from giggling so hard. We got Taylor like trying to hide it a little bit behind her hand or whatever.
I'm like starting to tear up. I'm laughing. I'm trying to stifle it so much.
Maybe Assassin can address one of the questions in the chat. They want to know why you're making love to the camera.
Because the camera's so damn sexy.
Oh, wow. Good answer. Good answer. It seems like we started the episode and you were like a little further back, and now I think you're leaning forward into it. I think. I don't know.
Well, here. Oh.
Maybe you like sit on. Do you have like
here.
an old textbook from high school? Maybe you can sit on or something like that.
No.
Okay, well, shut out of luck then. Clowns, I know you tried this DLC. What did you think of it?
I mean, I like it. I think it's creative. It's really something that we haven't seen outside of like Micro Machines on the old Nintendo. So it's really cool. I'd say definitely pick it up. I do think that they can improve on some things. Like I just hate flying off the course, and the rip rod car that they start you with kind of sucks. Like, don't give me a shitty car to start.
Why
Give me
you took a
something.
new car.
Don't listen to Assassin either. He's got a
new
big
car.
He's got a big head.
Not
But they
anymore.
I want like one of the cool Hot Wheels cars. Give me like a Hot Wheels police car with those old Interceptor engines. Don't give me some rip rod crap.
Well, yeah, I will agree that the first car really sucks. A lot of the cars in the DLC suck if you have if you're not like one of the best at handling these things, because like the rear wheel drive on them is just really unstable. So you're gonna like move back and forth a lot if you're trying to accelerate too quickly, and the front of the car kind of does the opposite of fishtailing. The front of the car just moves back and forth. So really, really, really tough to handle those cars. So in that respect, they're terrible. But some of the later ones, Assassin, wouldn't you say that they're kind of cool? Like that one with the dual engines on the front.
Yeah, it's hell to drive in first person.
Well, switch. Yeah, I mean, you have to switch the out of. If you want to do first person, you have to switch to like the out of car first person modes.
Yep.
But yeah, you switch to like the in car view, and you can't see jack shit. It's all just blocked by the engines. Taylor, I know you didn't play this, but you said that, or I think you didn't play this, but you said that you were kind of interested last episode. Have you kept that interest, or what's your feelings on it now?
I'm still kind of interested in it. I just last week, first of the month, means all the bills come out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hear you.
So, had no money last week. I might get it. I don't know. Because
Yeah.
I did just buy Outlast.
Oh, have you been liking that?
I haven't played it yet. I just bought it like this morning.
Gotcha. You'll probably really like it. You still gonna do that stream with Megan that we were talking about?
Yeah. I
Nice.
tweeted about it this morning.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I must have missed that. Sorry.
No.
Yeah. So look out for that. But yeah, I mean, I kind of expect them to do like a all-inclusive package kind of thing. I don't know how much it's gonna be, but something like more affordable. I don't know if it'll be 60 in a couple months with everything included, but who knows? But yeah, I think the DLC is really good. I'm not super high on it because I think the drive attires for some reason drive like absolute shit. Like you're constantly getting rammed, you're constantly getting knocked into. It's kind of easy to get knocked off the course if you're going too fast, which will absolutely end you in this DLC, unlike in the past expansions or even in the main game of Forza Horizon. So that kind of sucks. But I mean, all the loop-to-loops and all the ramps and stuff, I think that's pretty authentic. Assassin, I know in your video that you put up, you kind of said that you weren't necessarily too big of a fan of those, but I mean, why?
Well, I like them. It's just like 90% of the map isn't like cool like loops. It's just sharp turns and other crap. And then you get to like the middle map or portion of the map, and you go so high up. There's a bunch of loops and drops, and like that's cool. And there's another part where you get like the same thing, and then like I said, the rest is like just normal like road.
Yeah.
With some steep turns or whatever.
Well, we're showing right now a screenshot of you getting stuck in like the mountains and shit. So apparently, it's not that plain that you'd get stuck in the mountains right there.
Well, yeah, that was by one of the bigger areas
Nice.
of the map.
Yeah, I think it's worth your money. I would definitely get it. I know Assassin, you gave it like an 8, and you said you'd probably recommend it. But I think it's a completely different game, to be honest. Like I think it's so different from the original experience. You have to drive completely differently. You have to take those turns perfectly. They're narrow tracks. You can fall off them. Drive tires are crazy. I know Shanzu on Assassin's review that you posted today on our channel said that it sucks because all your skill chains are blown because it's so easy to crash into the walls. And I would agree with that. I think, a lot of the skill chain targets are very low on the races. There'll be the 3-star method where each race has a star for winning or finishing the race for 1 star, winning for 2, and then the third one is just a random one based on skill or based on doing certain tricks like drifting and whatnot. And the ones that are based on skill points are extremely low. Don't you think, Assassin? They're kind of low.
There was one 100,000, and the rest are like 15, 30, 50, 45.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's kind of for like a 3-lap race on Horizon 3. I could easily get like 200,000.
Well, all the maps are close quarter, or tracks are close quarter, so
right, yeah,
you're
that's what I'm
hitting
saying.
everything. So.
Yeah, right. But for people who like buy Horizon to keep, a lot of people love Horizon for like chaining and comboing and doing all the tricks and all that stuff. They're gonna probably be disappointed if they buy this because, I mean, if you perfect it in this DLC, you're gonna be like a god in the original game because it's just so difficult. Other than that, any other thoughts on this? I know, Assassin, you kind of I'm sorry, I don't mean to like bait you on your entire review and make people not watch it, but you made a lot of good points. Like you said, you wonder what it would be like if it were a full game. Do you think it has that potential?
It definitely does. And then one thing I forgot to mention is lack of colorblind options, especially red on orange. You can't see that line.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I drive with only a brake line on, and with red on orange, I crash all the time. Like if I go ahead, Klaus.
I gotta make a comment about that though, because
Yeah,
when we
please.
first started playing Forza Horizon 3, and I left my, my lines on or whatever, Assassin said, "Don't be a baby, take that off."
Yep, I vaguely remember that. Now he's complaining about the line. Now,
Well, I mean, it is red on orange. Half the time with my color blindness, I can't see anything. I can't even see stuff in the main game, let alone the DLC.
half the time with my non-color blindness, I would say 75% of the time I can't see it red on orange, and I crash all the time in this. So, I mean, I see where you're coming from, but
Yep.
I mean, I almost feel like being being one of the people that puts the full line on just to get through some of these races, or else I'm gonna have to keep looking. I hate that, like that feeling. I'm darting my eyes to the mini map in the bottom left. I'm just darting and darting the entire race, and I hate that feeling. I just want to look forward, appreciate the DLC because it looks gorgeous. I mean, if you have an HDR TV, all the colors and everything, it's so appealing.
Yep.
So, but I would recommend it. Assassin, you recommend it?
I don't recommend it for like the full 20. I mean, part of the expansion price, go right ahead, but 20, I think it's a little too steep.
I mean, there's a bunch of races. I think content-wise, you could probably, if you're just doing it straight, you'd probably get like 6 hours out of it.
Yeah.
5 hours, 6 hours.
For me, that's not worth $20. To
All
be
right.
honest,
That's fair.
not for 4, 5, 6 hours. Like if I'm spending 20, I want it to be longer.
I mean, there's multiplayer. You can still do a lot out of that.
But I mean, if you're a big fan of Forza, no matter what the price is, you should pick it up if you love Forza. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if you like racing games, this is the best one out there. So get it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with. I think compared to Blizzard Mountain, this is the better DLC. To be honest, even though I get more frustrated. Yeah, no, even though I get more frustrated, I think this one's better.
No,
It's so
no.
It's so different from the original game. Blizzard Mountain is like an extension. It has the weather effects, and it looks gorgeous. I'm not gonna knock Blizzard Mountain at all. Blizzard Mountain's like a 9 out of 10 for me. This is like a 9.5.
This is the guy who
No, I
was
raged.
racing and then turned off his console in like the middle of the race.
All right.
Like, what just happened?
And Inferno, are you getting endorsed or paid or?
Yeah,
No
let's
one-
get that
you
out.
have to tell the community if you're getting paid.
No
Yeah.
no endorsements here. No, none of that crazy stuff. No, I bought this myself. So, but yeah, that's the Hot Wheels DLC. I figured we would just like get off that topic. Now that you just segued, let's bring up the FTC thing now because I think everyone kind of has a little opinion stuff, stewing, ready to get going on this.
Oh, I think it's, for me, I think it's great finally. And I'm not saying like in a way that it should be discouraging. I think it's great because now there's people out there that are going to have to disclose it. And if they fail to disclose it, it's a $40,000 fine per post. So like if you post on Twitter and Instagram, right? 2 separate posts, but it's the same exact thing. Like you got some type of stroller and you post it, right? Oh yeah, this stroller is awesome. I love this stroller. But you didn't say, hey, in the first 3 words that it's a sponsored or an affiliated or some type of like received the product to talk about it deal. $40,000 fine per post. And that extends to the gaming community as well. So if you get like a free game and you don't have a review site or you're not a known reviewer for any newspaper, it's a $40,000 fine. They also went into more detail. Like if you get free tickets to E3, like for example, from Sony or any other company, you get a ticket to E3 and you go for free because you know someone or because you're an influencer and then you post about it and you're like, yeah, I'm having so much fun hanging out with blah 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 brand, but you fail to disclose that you received it for free and somebody reports you, $40,000 fine per post. So if you take more than one picture, that's probably more than one post, $40,000 fine. There's no court case, no argument, no lawyers. It's already set in stone. I'm sure the FTC would settle for less though if you're like a small pigeon on the pole, but yeah, I mean, that's it. It's out there.
Yeah, so, we all got to be careful on this. I mean, we do this podcast, we get review copies, we do reviews on the site and on YouTube and what have you. And, even during streams, like you got to watch out and make sure that you say, okay, well, we got this from this person or we were sponsored, by giving being given a gift, or even for me with E3, like I'm on E3 next month, and if I post videos on it or we talk about it on the show, obviously I have no I have not obligation. I have no problem saying that I got to E3 because of Xbox. I mean, I got into FanFest, so I'm very appreciative of that. But some people may say, like, I'm at E3, I'm here reviewing the the new Lucid headphones that are going to connect right to the Xbox or whatever. If they're reviewing that, and they got those opportunities from Lucid, they might have to say, like, I got this opportunity from, thanks to Lucid for giving me this opportunity, blah, 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 because, the FTC's cracking down. And there's an actual site, right, Clowns, that you were showing me, that people can actually go and actively report this. So it's not like they're just sitting around only scouring the net for this stuff. People are actually reporting it.
They want you to rat on people. In fact, they have like a whole under investigation or special unit dedicated to this. They started doing celebrities, then they went on to mom bloggers. But yeah, they have a thing right in their main articles. If you go to their site, you can click on a complaint form and you can just rat anybody out you want on any social media platform. Even Snapchat, if you want to rat somebody out, they'll get the records. It's the federal government. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't even matter. And like Inferno said, if you go to any event and let's say like Turtle Beach says, hey, oh man, we know that you got like 5,000 subscribers and you're not like super large, but you're large enough to make it look natural. Can you talk about our headsets? I'm not saying they do this. I'm just using them as an example. But if you do that and you start, yeah, I'll get a free headset out of this. Okay, so I'll start talking about it. Then you talk about it, but you fail to disclose that you got the headset for free. Even if you said it sucked and you got it for free and you fail to disclose that, bam, you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Taylor, I know you get some words on this. Go ahead and give them.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous because even people who were following the rules before, now it's you can't just put, like, if you do a tweet, and a lot of people when they do sponsored tweets, they'll put in like hashtag sponsor, ad, something along those lines, and that's not going to count anymore. And it's like you realize that you only have 140 characters put in there. Do you want 120 of them disclosing that it's a advertisement?
You could always type something up, take a screenshot, and put it as a picture.
Yeah, so that's what I was just going to say. Like, is that what they expect? Like, you're going to have to attach a picture to every fucking tweet now? It's like, yeah, like Taylor just said, you got the 140 characters. You don't want to say, like, sponsored by whatever or got this by whatever, because that takes up, 60 characters or whatever. So what I feel like people are going to do, which is crazy, is they're going to talk about it in a tweet and have no picture associated and do what you just said, Assassin. They're going to have, like, a memo page or from or in the notes page from their iPhone, be like, by the way, got this from whatever, thanks a lot or whatever. That's just ridiculous.
Or they could take a picture of the product and then use their finger and draw, thanks Apple for testing this shitty product.
Yeah, it's I agree with you, Taylor. It's a little ridiculous and all that kind of stuff. Like, if you make a review video and you title it like, Xbox One review, and like you got that Xbox One from Microsoft directly, then yeah, I would say it's probably best for you to report that. But if you're just like putting on something on Twitter, being like, oh, I got the chance to review this, watch the review, I think it's pretty good. Does that mean if you don't?
And even then, what really makes me mad is that like 90% of the people actually follow these rules. And now they're going to crack down on people and they're going to make it even that much harder. So if you make one tiny mistake, you forget to mention it or something, which most people don't do that. They'll redo a take and mention that it's sponsored.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like you have to have like this whole paragraph saying that it's a sponsorship or it's a paid promotion or whatever. And it's just kind of ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because people were already following these rules, and now you're just going to, because of like the 10% that weren't following the rules, you're screwing over the 90.
See, it's not the fact that it's just a paid promotion, because you don't have to get paid for it. It could just be a free product.
Getting a free product is still essentially a paid promotion because you're getting paid in an item instead of money.
Well, an interesting counterpoint to that is that some people get reviews for loans, like for in the cell phone business, for example. Like I watch a lot of people who review cell phones quite a bit because I'm huge into Android, and so I watch a review and they'll be like, and like you said, Taylor, like 90% of the people follow the rules and are happy to say that they got the unit from the company, so it's not a big deal. But like, what if someone forgets they got a loaner unit? Like, yeah, they're not getting it because like they're not keeping it. They have to send it back. Like that happens a lot of times with like monitors and stuff too. Like the understanding is, okay, you get it for a couple weeks, you can use it all you want, and then send it back. So what about those people? Are they going to be hit the same way?
I mean, as long as they disclose that it was free to them, like they'll be all right. But if they fail to disclose it, another thing FTC pointed out, it has to be within the first 3 words of your post. They have to say sponsored, endorsed, advertised, one of those, something like that, or a free product.
Weird. I'm with Taylor on this because I think that yes, it must be a problem for the FTC to friggin' come after it. Like I don't feel like the FTC just makes fights for no reason, but at the same time, like for them to impose $40,000 fines on something that pretty much the entire YouTube review industry that's professional does in the first place, like it's honestly targeting us small people, like people like us, or
Well, no, I mean, if you read their first letters they sent out, the first 90 letters, they were all to like major celebrities, like the Kardashians, for example, were targeted for makeup, for posting makeup on Instagram without saying that it was promotional. And then right after that, in some of the articles, if you read, they went after a mom blogger who posted about her. She just posted that she got like some type of baby stroller and her baby loves it. Well, the FTC said, well, you didn't disclose that it was a free product, so here, give us $40,000 now.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine like somebody winning something too? Like not even giving something as like a review product, like winning something. Like they won a huge, like they, people going to Babies R Us, they drop the thing in the bucket that's like, win this stroller that's like $3,000. People are like, oh, I get the Hyperglide stroller for $2 or whatever. They get it and they get it for free. They read a review. They don't put it. They find $40,000. I think that's bullshit, man.
See, there's one thing though that's like a gray area. What if you win it? Like, what if the company doesn't approach you and say, hey, here's a free product, talk about it. What if you enter a contest with like millions of people and your name gets picked and you get it for free? And then you're like, oh, I just won this. This is awesome. I love this product. Are they going to count that as a promotional?
Right. And people do that all the time. Like you go on Twitter, right? Twitter, all these big companies have giveaways. You go to Discord. If you're in the Xbox Discord, people, if you're not, I highly suggest you go in there. If you're an Xbox fan, which a lot of you are, go in there because they drop codes left and right for stuff. So what if you get a code for like, say, Prey came out last week? They were dropping Prey codes. Free Code Friday, which Assassin like is on like a hawk every week. They were giving away Prey last week. If you win that and do a review of Prey, do you have to say I won this from Major Nelson?
Yeah, see, I mean, that's probably a gray area. The FTC is probably going to have to like look at several 100,000 cases now before they make a final determination. But when people think about this, like what kind of stuff starts this from happening? It's usually like sports stars or celebrities that promote products that could be dangerous. If you think about it at the end of the day, like, I mean, even just watching some gamers that are big known YouTubers that drink like tons of energy drinks on their things. We don't even know if there's energy drinks on their desk. It's just, we just see a can, so we don't really know if they're drinking it. But what if they drink so much that some little kid's watching the show and like, wow, I want that energy drink. And they go out and they drink as much as that one guy in the show and the kid has a heart attack or something. Mm-hmm. So, I think it's really stems from the over abuse of promotional stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Middle-aged gamer in the YouTube chat asked an interesting question. Does this mean people on the radio that advertise during this show have to say this too? I'm assuming so.
Yeah, I would hope so. But they did make some determination that if you are a known journalist, review site, or critic, you're expected to get review copies to write an honest opinion. So in those situations, as long as you're not like a YouTuber, somebody on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, or any other social thing that you could think of, you should be fine. Now, are the radio people considered journalists or shock jocks? That's a good question.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. There was something up in the chat that let me just scroll through really quick. Somebody said I can't find it now. Assassin, what do you think, bud? I haven't heard much from you about this.
I mean, some of it is good. Like some of those YouTubers that overhype like games, and they were, sponsored. For instance, saw this guy who was sponsored by the people who made the shitty Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. And if that wasn't like sponsored, I mean, he would look terrible saying that he was trying to overhype the game, make it look nice, and then it ended up being crap, and people spent $60 on the game. They would be upset. So, I mean, they should disclose some of those things.
Yeah, I mean, somebody said it perfectly in chat, and I can't find it. I'm sorry, but whoever said it in chat, stop some of the scummy practices. And I agree with Taylor mostly. I think, and she said both on on the show and in the chat, that most people are already like bound to do this by the company. Like they make sure that they get shout out because it looks good for them, and they just do this anyway. But for those people that don't do it, it makes it look like they bought it and that it was worth the money, and then other people take their review, like, they'll give a score like an 8 out of 10 or something, and they didn't buy it, but it looks like they bought it. People will be like, oh, well, it was good enough for this person to buy, then I'll go buy it. And it turns out it was just a sponsored review, so they gave it a higher score. That's not fair. So that's scummy.
It was Prophet who said it.
Prophet, thank you. I couldn't find it, sorry. And Witty Mass agrees with you, Taylor, about the not having enough room in Twitter. That's ridiculous. Fucking Twitter. They're gonna go ahead.
Another thing to say to this too is that just because you're not in the United States, don't think that you're not affected. If you post on any media that falls within U.S. jurisdiction, you could be held liable.
Yeah, so that's an interesting point too, because I know that we have people that watch the show from all over the world, and we got a few people in the chat that I know are from Europe, specifically England, UK area. So, I mean, the FTC technically doesn't necessarily govern you, for instance, but I mean, YouTube is I'm sure YouTube will cooperate with them in any way to get you for lack of a better word, fucked if you get a fine of anywhere close to $40,000 in your local currency. I mean, you're probably gonna shit a brick. Let's just be honest. So
I mean, it's not like they would extradite you because.
Oh no.
But they could suspend your accounts. They could delete your accounts because all those companies fall within your jurisdiction, and if they don't abide by the law of the land here, they're gonna get fined.
Right. Interesting point about this before we kind of move off this topic. I thought this was kind of interesting what Witty Mass just pointed out in the YouTube chat. I plead ignorance, LOL, he says. And that's, that's kind of interesting. You think you can get away with that, or what do you guys think? One time slap on the wrist, second time 40,000, or you think they're just going to bring it right down, ban hammer kind of deal?
For maybe smaller people, they might allow the plead ignorance the first time, but that might be it.
Yeah.
Like only for like really tiny people that don't get a lot of traffic to any of their stuff, maybe then.
Yeah, like Clowns was saying with like the Kardashians, I guarantee you they are gonna have to pay unless they get their lawyers involved in some way. I mean, they wipe their ass with $40,000, so I'm sure they're gonna have to pay. But like, for instance, if this happened to us, like, I would like curl up and die. I think $40,000.
See, though,
like, geez, man.
Guys like us, though, technically we're covered because we are essentially a review outlet, and we're on like OpenCritic and other review sites and N4G, so we would fall within the journalist, ethical integrity of being a review site. Right. And Jez Jez posted on my tweets when I talked about this earlier, and in Jez's own words, he said it's about fucking time, tired of influencers.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's true. So many influencers make really good review critics look bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep, definitely. So yeah, if if anyone has any more thoughts about this, please let us know, because this is a very important topic, and I know it's not necessarily like just gaming, and this is a gaming podcast, but it does affect gamers and affects a lot of people who watch this show, and it affects us very, very deeply because, they're starting to take this stuff really seriously, especially like after the whole WB incident with what's the game there, the Shadow Mordor. Like they're taking this stuff really, really seriously now. So, so beware.
I do have one other thing.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So I do find it really ridiculous that companies in their contracts now with bigger influencers are trying to put in, like, you can't say anything negative, because that is illegal.
Yes.
That is completely illegal. You have to give your full, honest opinion. You cannot give a false opinion on something.
And, good point, Taylor, because maybe that's one of the reasons why the FTC is doing this.
Right.
Maybe
I think so, because with PewDiePie, he just reviewed a game or whatever. He didn't say that it was a sponsored, but it was like, I think it was something from Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't say that it was a sponsor, and he gave it like a really good review. And it's like, first off, you could be lying, because I think it got out somehow that it wasn't truthful, some of the things he was saying. And two, it was in his contract that he was not allowed to say anything bad-mouthing the game.
Right.
Which is completely illegal.
Right. That's bullshit, and I think that is the reason for this, because I think people already have like kind of a negative connotation with people like that say they're sponsored because of all the shit that's gone down. They are just, they see that they're sponsored. I mean, sponsored, you say sponsored, forget it. People get pissed. People, because of all this has gone down, they're just like, okay, well, that's not real. I mean, we had people in the chat say it. Like, I think Prophet's, another comment by Prophet was like, if it's sponsored, it's a fake review. A lot of people think that way. And I think this FTC thing is trying to like get people to not think that way anymore, because, I mean, the whole economy, the whole industry benefits from influencers like us and like PewDiePie. Not that we're comparable, but, just for example, the big and the small, talking about this kind of stuff. And if they can't do it honestly and people can't trust them, then, I mean, what good is this journalism, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, good point, Taylor. So yeah, if you have any comment, if you have anything about that, about the PewDiePie situation, about this whole FTC thing, definitely hit us up on Twitter, 4GwQPodcast, or hit us up all individually. Our stuff is like cycling, below our images here on the video. So we'd love to hear from everybody. So want to hear what people are saying about this, or in the comments below, obviously, after the show is over, or if you're watching it later. All right, Assassin, quickly, our weekly Call of Duty special, I suppose. Jizzle was right. We talk about Call of Duty every single week. For some reason, it sneaks its nasty head into the gaming discussion, but it is relevant.
It's positive.
Huh?
It is positive stuff, so.
Wait a second. Whoa. See, I'm not on the positive side of this. $30?
Yes, it's worth it.
Well, you gotta think, like, okay, so, I mean, $30 is a little expensive for 8 remastered maps, but, like, you gotta see these maps, like, do a comparison to, like, for Moon, for example, the Black Ops 1 version versus the Black Ops 3 version. It's, like, night and day of how much it looks better, and, like, with some of these remasters, like, they brought in the voice actors, they redid the music to make it sound better, they said this, and then not just, like, a multiplayer map where, you put a few bushes, a few buildings here, like zombies, you got parts that, the Easter eggs that overlap certain things, that change things. You got other, musical Easter eggs. You got, like, an Ascension, there's, like, random phone calls from, like, people from a different map, but those are, like, really random, and just some other things.
Okay.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of work in here, but then, like, on the other side, $30 is expensive.
Okay, well, I'll waver towards the middle on this because of what you just said, because I did read about that and I was kind of questioning how true that was. And they showed off some screenshots that they very obviously said we're not in gameplay. You see that the screenshots that were like down the bottom and said not actual in-game images.
There was some YouTubers that actually went to Treyarch and could record 15 minutes, and there's gameplay out there. I've seen a good 2 of the 8 maps or whatever so far, because they can only release so many at certain times. So because the NDA and stuff, and it looks good. I mean, even because YouTube, the quality might not look as good,
compression and whatnot.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you can see the differences even just on YouTube of how much it looks better and sharper and because they had to redo the textures and stuff, and they added some textures, and it looks totally different.
Yeah, so let me just read this real quick, clowns, before you get in on it. I just want to go over just really, really quick, the actual details of this. So it says the collection adds vibrant current generation visuals, like you just said, Assassin, enhanced lighting, revamped character models, environments, updated AI and audio systems, like you were talking about, Assassin, with the phone calls and all that stuff. And you can use custom weapons, including weaponry that's in Black Ops 3 that was not in these original maps. So, clowns, I'll let you get in now, obviously, but that's what's making me kind of waver towards the middle versus being totally against it for 30, because it seems like it wasn't just a up resolution kind of thing. This is a real remaster, if you will, of DLC.
But I did the math on this, Inferno. If you think about it, it's less than $5 a map.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. Let me just do it really quick. 30 divided by 8, if you will. $3.75.
That's worth it. I mean, for me,
you get so much gameplay out of it.
Yeah.
Especially the older maps, because they're actually good compared to the newer zombie maps. That probably triggered some people saying that, but I mean, it's so much better, these old maps.
Yeah, I think I can't gauge whether or not people are positive about this DLC thing. I see a lot of people saying it's too expensive. I see a lot of people saying it's cheap. A lot of people saying it's just really cheap. So I can't really gauge how people in the majority feel about it. But if you're getting experiences from the old games that are better, like you say, Assassin, than the new stuff, then maybe it's worth 30. I guess I'm just stuck on the fact that the game's almost 2 years old and they're releasing a DLC for $30.
See, but this is what makes it great. It's the fact that they can carry the life of the game on. And, if they did this kind of stuff with Fallouts and Skyrim, I'd still buy it. So I love zombies, and, I love Treyarch. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah. Taylor, what do you think about this? I know you're not a huge Call of Duty person, but money-wise or just initial impressions on what you've seen so far?
I think it's kind of ridiculous that it's 30, especially for a 2-year-old game. I'm kind of with you on that. I can see why they put it higher, because a lot more work went into it than most DLCs. But even then, that's a lot for an old game.
I'd almost...
Yeah, but then, look at WoW, World of Warcraft. They're still coming out with expansions fucking left and right, and the game's so old. And Siege is hitting its 2-year, and they don't expect to stop till they hit 50 to 100 operators, which is $30 a season pass plus the microtransactions, which can lead up to $30.
Preach, my brother. Preach, my brother, Assassin.
But, no, there's a difference with WoW, because an expansion for WoW is an entire new experience.
Yeah, some of these experiences, for instance, some people started Black Ops 3. They never played Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, World at War. They've never played these.
Okay.
Same thing, with the Modern Warfare Remaster. That game's 10 years old. They didn't have to release it, but they did because people wanted it.
Yeah,
I could play this with my daughter. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't experience the zombie maps on when she played Black Ops. So I mean, this is great to play with my daughter. And I could tell you that me and Hate It used to play Origins like nonstop for maybe 12 hours a day for like almost a year straight, just on Origins.
Oh, man, I see both points of this because, initially, and I'm kind of still with Taylor on this. $30, like, that's uphill, man. That is like a full-fledged DLC cost. Like, you guys know DLC is on a different scale as regular games. Like, people would say, "Oh, $30 for a regular game, like that's fine." But you say $30 for DLC, you're pushing it, and I think the remaster is probably going to be worth it. I think it's going to look a lot better.
Well, if we're looking at it this way, though, right? So we're paying $30 for 8 maps, like $375 per map, right?
Yeah.
And there's tons of hours worth of experience in each map because there's the Easter eggs, there's different challenges, there's the awesome sounds. If you do different things, that assassin will repeat until he gets the sounds. So, I mean, it's just awesome. And then you look at this $30, and then you look at, let's say, like Forza Horizon 3 Hot Wheels expansion, $20, right? You're going to get more hours out of this Call of Duty than you are going to get out of Hot Wheels.
Yeah,
and
you're going to get more hours out of one map.
Yep.
Out of the expansion than Forza Horizon 3.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you on that one, but
Why? If it's 6 hours, some people, like, there's some live streams I've seen that they haven't died once. Well, I mean, they died, but they haven't restarted the map, and I watched it from start to finish. It was over 8 hours.
You watched
start to finish.
You're telling me you're watching 8 hours from start to finish? Advanced
Warfare. I have the achievement on Twitch. You can look. Where it was constant 8 hours of not being off that channel. Like, there's channels that you could see past live streams of them being on one map for so long.
Okay, so Sim just made a good point in the chat. He said, not worth 30 in my opinion. That's half the price of a new game. So Assassin, let me ask you. This is $30 for this DLC. Would you rather spend $30 on this DLC or save it to buy a game like Forza Horizon 3?
Well, I mean, it really depends because some people, like, I like new stuff, obviously, so I'd probably go with the Forza, but some people are, like, huge zombie fans. Like, that's their whole channel. Like, I follow a few people that all they do is Call of Duty zombies. Not Modern Warfare. Modded zombies, World at War zombies, all the way to Black Ops, or Infinite Warfare zombies, I mean, that's their, they love doing that stuff.
Okay.
There's some people that
let's
don't even have YouTube channels.
Let's look at it. 2 questions here. One for Assassin. Assassin, if you were to break this down as if it was like brand new map packs, right? When Call of Duty releases new maps, okay? How many map packs would this be?
That would be almost 2.
It would be 2, yeah, 2.
And how much would you have to pay for those?
It would be the same price.
$30.
So you look at something like this, it's worth it. And then you look at Dishonored 2, which is $30.
Oh, Jesus.
Not worth it. And it
Oh,
doesn't even have as many hours.
I'm sorry, I don't think that comparison works for this.
Hour-wise, Assassin?
How many video game awards did Call of Duty Black Ops 3 win?
Probably more than Dishonored.
Definitely not. Absolutely did not. You dude.
Dishonored definitely won more because Black Ops 3's campaign was awful. God fucking awful. But Black Ops 3's multiplayer and saved, I think, the Call of Duty series. At least for a year.
I agree with that. But real quick, I just, as I've been sitting here kind of like stewing all this information, I thought of a counter to your Rainbow Six point and to your WoW point, Assassin.
What?
Has Blizzard released WoW 2 yet? Or has Ubisoft released a successor to Rainbow Six Siege, like Rainbow Six Siege 2 or the next one? Whereas Activision has already moved on to Infinite Warfare. They're almost already on to World War II, which is going to have its own zombie mode. Within the next, 5-6 months, we're going to get there, right?
Nope.
And they're going back to a game 2 years old and releasing a DLC priced as if it were a game that came out 3 months ago.
Yeah, but okay, so if you only had 2 games in your library, one was Infinite Warfare, one was Black Ops 3, okay?
Right.
Would you play Black Ops 3 or Infinite Warfare?
Well, no, you could say that about a bunch of games.
I know,
It's
but I'm just saying there's probably not as many people on Black Ops 3 than Infinite Warfare.
right.
But Infinite Warfare sucks for a future game.
I
Black
agree.
Ops 3 is so much better, and they're still updating it, and people are coming back.
I agree.
Like, what? I mean, this breaks the full, for a DLC cycle. They know that they can still make money off these games and still support it, and it still brings fans content. Like, any content is good for the community.
Think about it this way, Inferno. We bought Mario Kart on the Wii U, right?
Mhm.
We just rebought the whole game all over again for $60.
Nintendo's a special breed. Yeah, no, I mean, you got me on that. Nintendo is a special breed when it comes to that shit. I mean,
we got jerked over more on Mario Kart than you are getting on this Black Ops 3 re-release of Zombies.
Trust me, I agree with you. I agree with you on that 100%. But I think like people just come accustomed to the Call of Duty thing. Like they move on. People move on from Black Ops 3. It's not like it was in the 360 era where people are still playing Modern Warfare 2. People are moving on. Like, the people only the diehards are still on Advanced Warfare. Black Ops 3 is probably not even half of the playership that is Infinite Warfare. And Infinite Warfare sucks, like you said, Assassin. So people are just moving on. Like I just think they're kind of missing the mark. They could have priced this at 20 and blown away everyone. And they would have gotten more sales on it from people like me who are on the fence about zombies, not even like huge zombies fans. Obviously, the big zombies people are going to buy this, and it's a good deal for them. But what about people? I mean, it's not the zombies people that's keeping Call of Duty afloat.
No, but it's a reason why zombies is in every single Call of Duty since
definitely
Advanced Warfare. I mean, if there was no zombies in Call of Duty, I think it would have just been dead.
Yeah, no, I agree. Taylor, got any more on this, or are we moving on?
Nothing.
She's like, fuck this, because it got into this on to talk, and I hate all of you.
Pretty much.
All right, let's move on.
We made a rule.
We made a rule. We tried this, and every episode it just sneaks in there. But Video Game Awards, mic dropped, baby. Awards won. 1-0. All right.
Paid off awards. I'm sorry. Did I say that?
They're gonna have to announce that from now on, right? FTC is gonna put the ban hammer on Jeff Keighley. All right, moving on. We got some juicy ass rumors about Far Cry, the next Far Cry game, which I did not expect any rumors about this whatsoever, but apparently we got some rumors. So let's kind of like set the stage on this. So there's a rumor that's come out that's been associated with Kotaku's, what's his name? Jason Schreier, right? Kind of associated with him. I got my smart cash card from Capital One to put thousands of dollars. Video plays for no reason. He kind of leaked it and or is associated with it, and they were talking about how Far Cry 5 was filming in Montana, which is really weird place for a Far Cry game to film, because if you're a fan of the Far Cry series, that's extremely weird. And so that's pretty much been confirmed. Like, a lot of people have heard this. A lot of people have been talking about this and can confirm reports that the next Far Cry game is being recorded, filmed, and segments are being like captured from Montana. So that's kind of irrefutable at this point. It's pretty much as obvious as the new setting for Assassin's Creed, even maybe more obvious than that. But then there's been some stuff going around about it being in the Wild Wild West. And while it's being recorded in Montana or filmed or captured or whatever in Montana, no one discreetly said who leaked that information that it was Wild Wild West. People are just assuming it is, because I guess there was a survey back in 2015 done by Ubisoft that said, would you like to see a Far Cry game in the Wild West? And people are saying, okay, well, that survey asked it a couple years ago. It's now 2017. So it just makes sense that it's in Montana. They're filming it in Montana. So it's got to be Wild Wild West. But I guess a lot of people are trying to downplay that and say it's not in the Wild Wild West. But so it's supposed to be coming in September of this year, apparently. Which I don't know if I believe that, but it would make sense because they don't want to face juggernauts that are coming in November and October. And so
Yeah, but isn't Red Dead rumored to be in September?
Yes, Red Dead is rumored to be this year. Yes, I don't know about
It's
September,
gonna kill it.
but yeah, I mean, it would be absolutely obliterated. So that's why I kind of don't believe it is Wild West. So let's just go down. Do you believe that this is coming, and do you believe it's in the Wild West?
I mean, anything's possible. They went to like cavemen, period, whatever. So Wild West, whatever, would be a lot easier for them to do. But then you're just going to be killing animals and collecting plants the whole entire time with a bunch of collectibles, like Far Cry 4. So,
Clowns or Taylor, what do you think about this?
Why, and why? I mean, Red Dead 2 is coming out. It's the best Western there is. Far Cry Primal was crap, and a lot of people didn't like 4. So
awful.
I loved 4, but I didn't like Primal. I thought
you?
Primal was terrible. I was hoping the series was dead.
Mm-hmm. Taylor, thoughts on this?
I mean, I didn't play. I haven't played any of the Far Cry's, but I've watched Cameron play Far Cry Primal, and I actually really liked just watching him play it. I thought it was really interesting. The other ones I never really got into, even just watching gameplay of it or anything. But Far Cry Primal, I almost bought it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think Assassin, what did you say about 3, by the way?
I said just buy/play 3.
3 is the best. Yeah, 3 is the best.
It all went downhill after that.
Yeah, Far Cry 3 was pretty good. I played a good amount of that. Far Cry 1 and 2 played a very good amount of that. Far Cry 4 did not touch 1 second of it. Same thing with Primal. I played maybe very minimal amounts, but watched a ton of it because, like Taylor, I was really interested in that one. I thought that made sense for Far Cry, moving from, guns blazing, going into forts and taking over outposts and stuff like that. I thought that translated pretty well to Primal. And I thought even though they use bows and arrows and stuff like that, I thought the integration of all those animals and stuff and taming the animals and all that, I thought that was a cool experience, and I was looking forward to grabbing that when it went in sale, and just never did because of backlog and all that. But to move to the Wild Wild West, I mean, I'm kind of with clowns. Like, what the actual fuck are they thinking going to the Wild Wild West? I think if you're going to Montana and making like a game out in the open of Montana, like that isn't Wild West and isn't going straight up against Red Dead Redemption, like, okay, I'm for that. I think that could work in very easily between like Primal's extreme and Far Cry 4's extreme of gameplay. But like, you're going to go to the Wild Wild West and take on arguably one of the top 5 games of all time. I know Red Dead Redemption 2, you can't say that yet, but Red Dead Redemption 1 is in my top 5 of all time. And if you're going to go against the sequel to that's been much anticipated, good friggin' luck. Good luck. Because we saw what happened with Titanfall and with Battlefield 1. Titanfall got obliterated in sales by Battlefield 1 because they released so close to each other. And Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Titanfall were all battling against each other for sales. So what, you're gonna cripple your sales by releasing a game that's just like or very similar to Red Dead, I think. Don't you guys agree?
Yep.
Here's what's going to happen with this Far Cry 5. You ready? There's going to be a bar on the corner, a saloon, and it's going to be like a bunch of bad guys inside. You're going to go in there, clear it out, whatever, save the outpost, save the bar. And then an hour later, another one's going to pop up. You're going to do it all over again. And then an hour later, another one's going to pop up all over again. And then if you're lucky, maybe you'll get like one of those wooden forts, and it'll be like the main thing in the whole area. And then you do that, and you move on to the next area, and repeat everything all over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that'd be so repetitive, man.
It's how it's going to end up.
That would really suck. I mean, if they did that, it's the end of Far Cry, I think.
We all know it's coming from Ubisoft. It's going to be littered with some crappy side missions, 1 or 2 good main missions, a shit ton of collectibles, and like I said earlier,
open world.
You're gonna kill a few animals, skin them to unlock some upgrades, and collect flowers.
Listen, you do a lot of the same stuff in Red Dead too, but it all like
Yeah, but at least the side missions are a little bit different. The main story is good.
well, you never know if the main story would be good. Maybe Ubisoft
Well-
is, they took the break with Assassin's Creed to focus, more on the
Yeah,
story and fleshing that out. So, and the gameplay experience. So maybe with Far Cry, they kind of take in the same approach and they're going to flesh this out a little bit more.
Or maybe
Yeah,
they
but-
just are gonna take the idea from Wildlands and be like, we could just repeat everything.
Yeah, I mean, look at Ubisoft. Have they, besides Siege, what have they released that was good so far since at least Siege?
Trivial Pursuit, Just Dance 2016 and 17.
Okay, open world game.
No, none.
Okay.
Well, maybe the first DLC for Far Cry 5 would be like Gold Rush, kind of like Narco Road, except you get horses and try to join a gang.
Maybe.
Place vehicles with horses. Well, maybe that'll be 10 minutes of fun.
If this thing comes out and is very similar to Wildlands, I would laugh so hard at that because Wildlands was so similar to The Division in a lot of ways, and like a lot of people almost would say that it was a direct copy off in very many ways. And so if they start going that route with these games and then throwing Far Cry into that mix, then geez, man, Ubisoft's got to refocus because they're gonna be banking on Assassin's Creed and probably whenever it comes out, the new South Park game. So, jeez, I mean, Far Cry. If they come out and do that with Far Cry, it's over. I think it's over. And look what just happened with Mass Effect, right? I don't want to get into that too much, but Mass Effect, they downsized BioWare Montreal, and Mass Effect is going to be put on the back burner because of how it performed. And you're treading on dangerous water now that Primal was viewed very mixed, and same in Far Cry 4, I'd say was viewed even more negatively than Primal, to be honest. So I don't know. Take home story here is that not so fast in the Wild Wild West. It's probably not the Wild Wild West, according to Jason Schreier. Actually responded on Gaff about this. He went on Gaff to say, this is associated with my name. I just want to let people know. No one said to me it's Wild Wild West. So yeah, that's the take home on this. Justin, what are you doing with your head, bro?
There's a cat in my face.
They can't see the full cat's body in the webcam.
Yeah, it's like,
Even though we can see it, they can't.
so I look even more stupid with my big
Yes.
forehead.
Yes,
It looks like you're taking a tail and like feathering yourself back and forth periodically.
Oh my god, dude. Real quick before we get off this topic, Witty Mass just posted this in the YouTube chat. One of them, Battlefield 1, Titanfall 2, COD, all released in a 3-week period. One of them was bound to be the short stick. So that's kind of the point I was making with Far Cry 5 and Red Dead. If they come out near the same time, then that's what's going to happen. But then he thinks that Far Cry 5 is hoping that Red Dead gets delayed. And I see a lot of people saying Red Dead's going to get delayed. I mean, I don't know where you're getting that from. I don't know where that rumor has come up. Have you guys seen anything about Red Dead getting delayed? I haven't seen anything about that.
It's Rockstar. No, they got the resources to make sure it happens.
Right.
Yeah, but then GTA 5 get delayed a few times before it came out.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But GTA 5, hold on a second. Let me look that up. I was going to say GTA 5 came out later after GTA 4 than the same thing with Red Dead, but I can't. That's probably not even true. Yeah, I mean, GTA 5 got delayed too, so it's a good point. So maybe that's where they're getting it from, but Middle Age Gamer says Rand, and I understand Rand thinks that it's going to get delayed, but no, I don't necessarily agree with him on that. I think it's the perfect time for them to strike, to be honest. Scorpio, PS4 Pro, it's going to look gorgeous on both of those, so... All right, moving on to our final topic, which is I guess there's two topics this week in this new thing we're calling Weird News of the Week or Weird Gaming News. I can't decide which one we should call it, but maybe we'll take a vote amongst everyone here and after the show or later or something to see what people like. But it's the Weird News of the Week, people. So there are a couple of topics here we'll go through kind of quickly. First one being... Apparently, there are some sites advertising that Xbox One is beating Wii U and PS3 in Japan, and they're running with that. So Xbox One last week sold 677 units, which is up huge from their usual weekly total of like 100. So they're at 677 last week. Wii U is at 397, and the PS3 was at 407. So people are running with talking about how Xbox One barely outsold the last gen consoles and reporting it as a victory. So may I just kick this segment off and be like, what the actual fuck are people thinking?
What site was that, Inferno? I had posted that link. What was it?
It's on msft.com, and that's not the only one. I can't find the only one, but they're reporting that as a big deal. These people are reporting this as a huge deal, that Xbox One is having this massive resurgence in the Japanese market. They're theorizing because I guess in Japan, a lot of people buy stuff digitally. They want to go to the store. They want to buy a card with a digital code and actually use that instead of buying physical releases. And I guess Microsoft last month in Japan, they started releasing the actual cards. You know, if you go on a GameStop or something, you can get the cards with the digital code now for full games. I guess Microsoft just started doing that in Japan. So they're theorizing that that's the reason why you've gotten an upsale, because now people can buy like that, like they're used to, and not necessarily buy physical copies. So,
you know, it makes perfect sense because, and this is kind of like weird news too that most Americans don't know, is that even back in the late 80s with Game Boy, Super NES, and Nintendo, well, Super NES in the 90s, but all those systems in Japan, you could walk into like there was like a drugstore / grocery store or whatever, and you could buy a cartridge and download like 10 to 12 different games on that cartridge that were still fully licensed. It was just a multi-ROM cartridge, fully approved by Nintendo.
yeah.
So this makes perfect sense with Xbox.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got stuff like that today with the flash cards. I mean, that's illegal. I mean, people will argue the legality of ROMs, and I mean, you go ahead and argue that because you may be right in your argument. I'm not saying it's 100% illegal in every case, but it's definitely not sanctioned by the companies, like Clown's saying about the Japanese carts. So yeah, maybe that is the reason it sold more, but I would not be advertising this as a win. This is just ridiculous. Assassin or Taylor on this topic, have any thoughts?
Well, the Jizzle made a good point in the chat. Japan hates Xbox or whatever, so, I mean...
Well, maybe we should write an article on our site being like Xbox One beats the Famicom in weekly sales. Crushed it, actually. Actually,
I bet you N4G would pick that up.
N4G would run with that. Yep, run right with that like they did with this. Yeah, Xbox One actually... Dude, would you believe that Xbox One outsold the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation Portable in Japan combined last week, Assassin?
Oh, there you go.
Actually, they outsold the Atari 2600, 5600, and the Atari Jaguar all combined last week in sales. So, fucking bravo. Bravo.
Well, I'm sure it beat the Vita, right?
Oh, it may not have, honestly. I mean, Japanese people love their portable gaming. It probably didn't, let's be real. Taylor, any thoughts on this real quick?
Yeah, I think it's just weird that it jumped from like the low hundreds almost to 700 within a week. That's just odd.
Yeah, well, some people are saying that there's like, and trust me, I do not know Japanese culture a lot, so I am sorry for my ignorance if there are people that listen to this podcast and know Japanese culture, but there are people saying that this was like kind of like a holiday week, so sales usually jump anyway, but not 7 times, not 6 times. So,
Yeah.
Well,
okay, Clowns?
I mean, the Xbox Scorpio is going to have like VR, right? So maybe they are going to do things with VR over there.
Yeah, maybe they're interested in that. Maybe they saw, recent announcements. Maybe it is what people are saying about the digital games and being like, okay, well, Microsoft actually cares about us to have digital game cards now in our region, and that's how we shop. That's how we want to buy our stuff. We don't want to buy physical discs anymore. So I don't know. I'm with you, Taylor. It's very weird, but it's almost as weird as people reporting this as a fucking win. I mean, that's when I saw this, I was just like, come on.
Well, I mean, how many Xboxes are in Japan that people buy? Low amounts, right? Compared to probably everything else.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, it's technically a win.
All right, well, I don't agree with that, but you know what, Assassin, we'll run with it. For you, bud, we'll say it's a win. All right, we'll say it's a win. All right, last but not least for tonight, second weird gaming news topic of the evening. Mr. Rogers, I guess, is going to be on a gaming streaming site. You may know of it. It's called Twitch. We broadcast on there every once in a while. We usually do the podcast on there, but our multi-stream has been fooling around. But we'll try to get that back up very quickly. So yeah, Twitch announced earlier today, this was this morning actually, so very recently, that they said, please won't you be our neighbor, all 886 episodes of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood coming to Twitch on May 15th. And for a little bit of details on this, they are doing an 18-day straight broadcast, so it's a marathon of all 886 episodes. It's going to take 18 days. And it's going to have some stuff you may not have seen before, because it's going to have episodes that only aired once and that aren't available online anywhere else. So there's going to be some pseudo-exclusive content to this stream. So Twitch, this is a big land for a lot of people. This is big news. You can read more about it on the Twitch TV blog. I know you can't see the link there, but maybe I'll put that in the description. And part of this is also philanthropic as well, because Twitch is going to be doing a fundraising campaign for local PBS stations that once upon a time aired Mr. Rogers. So Taylor, I want you to begin on this, because you brought, you were so excited. I know Assassin brought this to my attention, but I know you were super excited when you heard this news.
And well, because I mean, I grew up watching Mr. Rogers like all the time. Whenever I was like getting babysat or something, I was at home just watching TV. It was almost always Mr. Rogers I was watching. So it's just like, first off, it's a little weird that it just randomly comes up now, especially after. It's just weird to me, because then we also had the Bill Nye thing come up on Netflix.
Yep.
And now we have Mr. Rogers on Twitch. And it's like, first off, why a primarily gaming streaming service airing Mr. Rogers?
Right. And like, people will say, okay, well, Twitch is trying to get out of the just gaming thing. Amazon bought them, so they're trying to get out of that just gaming connotation or what have you. And they also streamed, I don't know if you guys know this, but they also streamed back in the day Julia Child's cooking shows on Twitch.
They also did that, Bob Ross painting guy?
They did Bob Ross painting. They did Power Rangers, the whole series of the original Power Rangers, which kind of makes sense because that's kind of related to gaming and gaming culture, so I saw that. But Bob Ross painting, Julia Child, and now, Mr. Rogers, like, this is just ridiculous. Hopefully this actually, their philanthropic efforts are actually realized, and that this actually does raise money for PBS, because I think PBS is awesome. Like, honestly, I don't watch PBS all the time, but when I do, I always like their stuff. Like, I'm a huge science nerd, so I used to always watch like Nova and stuff like that, their informational stuff. Obviously, we all watch PBS as kids, and Mr. Rogers is and was incredible. But yes, for people in the U.S., that PBS is kind of like on shaky ground now. It's kind of losing its luster, and people are, kind of neglecting it and not donating as much as they did to keep it publicly active. So it may go down the tubes. And what better way to raise money than on something like Twitch? I mean, this should be a huge donation opportunity for PBS. So hopefully that happens. But Clowns or Assassin on this, on Mr. Rogers going to Twitch?
Best thing since sliced bread.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. See, I grew up with Mr. Rogers. I used to watch the shit out of that, even though I think the puppet scared the shit out of me. But, as Mr. Rogers always said, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
That's right. You even sung that, like, in the cadence of the actual show. So bravo. I feel like you can't say that phrase without like singing it. You know what I mean? Like if you just said it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, like you sound stupid. You have to be like it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. You know. So. Wow, nice comment by Jizzle in the YouTube chat. He says Assassin probably did grow up with Mr. Rogers, literally.
Wow.
Wow, people are just beating up on Assassin right now. Excellent. Do you go over and play checkers with him by any chance, Assassin? Or
No, I think he was dead by the time I was alive.
wow, all right. Yeah. No, that's first of all that's false. So
When did he die?
no, dude, you're like 20. How old are you?
Yeah, but when did he die? Because I swear he died a long
No,
time
it
ago.
wasn't that long ago.
No.
Bro. It wasn't like the
Was it?
2000s. 2003.
Oh, then never mind.
Come on,
I'm
dude.
stupid. Sorry.
Clown's final thoughts on this?
I just don't understand why they choose Mr. Rogers. What about other shows like Read a Rainbow? There's so many other ones out there.
Maybe in the future. I think I think Reading Rainbow actually is still like goes on.
No.
I think it does. I mean, yeah, they have a Twitter. They have. Oh no! It did. Wow! It ended in 2006. No, you're right. Okay.
See, I grew up with Mr. Rogers. Like, I liked watching him when I was a kid. I'd watch him and like Reading Rainbow, Assassin, not like you do. However, I just think that Mr. Rogers is out of touch for the kids gaming today that watch Twitch. That's how I just feel. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I'd figure maybe Eureka's Castle or something.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. I hear you. I mean, that's definitely that's definitely a risk because I think a lot of people who do watch Twitch are too young to know what this is. But at the same time, like they're gonna see that 30,000 people are watching Mr. Rogers, if not more, and they're gonna just jump on that chat and see what it is, and drive those numbers up and up and up, and then you're gonna have advertisers, I'm sure, getting in on this, So I mean, just them being in the channel, makes money for this cause. So, and they'll probably just go in there to like post obscene shit in the chat or something. But
bunch of dicks, probably.
Probably.
Like Twitch normally does.
Probably. So yeah, that's that. I just can't believe that it's just a straight like 18-day broadcast. It's gonna take 18 friggin' whole days to do the whole series.
A lot of
That's
Mr. Rogers.
That is a lot of Mr. Rogers. Assassin, are you gonna pull a marathon like you did with that 8-hour stream you were talking about earlier?
No.
If you do, leave your webcam on so we can see 2/3 of your
You
face.
slowly die.
You'll probably lose a lot of weight if you just sat there the entire time watching Mr. Rogers.
He would actually die. You have to sleep within I think the world record is 11 days without sleeping.
Just have it running in the background.
No, but we might get a
sound.
world record of like nonstop dancing from Assassin.
Maybe.
No,
it's
I
a
don't
beautiful
dance.
day in the neighborhood.
Maybe.
I would get so old so quick.
Probably. All right, and with that, we're done. Oh, go ahead. You got something
There's
else?
one other thing I want to briefly talk about is that a lot of you guys don't know this, but Microsoft has patented new digital piracy. What do you call it? Content detection. So like when you upload stuff to OneDrive or you make music in your videos on Xbox or you post anything that's copyrighted content, Microsoft will be able to detect it before it's fully finished, and they're going to be taking action against users' accounts. It's been reported by Torrent Freak and picked up by Wall Street Journal, Forbes, and a few other magazines.
Yeah, so be very, very careful. That's why I don't put music to any of my shit anymore. Like, I don't want to get caught in copyright infringement. Like, we got caught in copyright infringement for the stupidest shit on our channel. I mean, that was
Forza
probably months
Horizon
ago.
3 radio.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Come on. And then there are people that stream it and don't have anything happen to them. So, I mean, I guess they're just trying to crack down on it. So you got to be really, really careful. If I were you, I would not stream with video, with any audio. I would actively search out like royalty-free stuff because you don't want to get your channel banned on YouTube, and that's what they're gonna do. Like they're gonna screw you. So, Jizzle
So-
says just use Monster Cat. That's a good idea. Yeah, just use Monster
Yeah.
Cat.
So basically, also this would affect if you upload music to like, let's say like Groove or whatever it's called now, and you put it on your OneDrive to stream it to that.
Right.
So it's going to
interesting.
affect that. Yeah, they're going to try to be able to detect if it was purchased or if it has DRM or if DRM's been ripped from the file headers, stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, we're just moving to that age, and this all comes on the heels of Cody getting closer and being released onto the Xbox Windows 10 platform. And Microsoft just invited them to a developers conference. So, I mean, it all probably has to do with all of that. So, like, even streaming stuff, right? So, like, if you use media players on your Xbox One and you stream files, they want to be able to detect what you're streaming and take action against you for streaming it if it's not licensed.
Oh man, it's like that's in your own home. Like if you're doing that for listening on your own iPod, your own MP3 player, your own phone. Like if you want to get them for downloading it, like get them while they're downloading it. But you gotta check what people are uploading their stuff now. It's like we're just getting to that closer and closer to that state where people are just watching everything you do.
And the problem is that most of this is going to be automated. So it's not even going to be like a real live person behind it that you could talk to and be like, hey, I owned the Simpsons DVD collection and I was streaming it from the disc in my drive to my Xbox One media player. No. I mean, I'm sure you can file an appeal, but it's probably going to be a process. But they don't know what kind of action they're going to take against users' accounts or how it's going to affect users' accounts yet or how many warnings you'll get. All that has not been decided. But the article is on Torrent Freak, and it has been republished by major publications as well.
Wow, crazy. Man, Assassin, you better watch out, dude. They're probably watching you right now through your camera and being like, what the fuck's this dude doing so close to his camera?
Yeah.
Probably like he's a sketchball. They're gonna like raid your house like they do on Twitch when people call and say that there's hostage situation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what, guys? Don't hate on Microsoft for this. It's just that time in the age that we're approaching.
Oh no, dude,
digitally speaking, and PlayStation has been doing this a lot longer since PS3.
Dude, they're getting pressured, man. They're definitely getting pressured, and they're like, obviously they're going to people like Microsoft that have the means, Google, Amazon. They're going to the big players to get this to happen because they have the means to do it. And so, it's not just Microsoft looking to, fuck you over. They're all, if the money's right, they're all gonna do it. So get ready, it's happening. All right, and with that, I think that's it. We'll talk about that more, like when more details released, and if somebody gets caught and the story goes up or something like that, because that's definitely an interesting topic. It's kind of like the FTC one we discussed earlier, but when more details come out and when someone gets caught, we're definitely gonna have to revisit that because I want to see how. I can't wait until the first person that happens to that's just like, I'm doing it in my own house, man. You can't catch me. Like, you have no idea where I got this from. That kind of deal. We'll see. So, other than that, we're done. Assassin, nice cat, nice face. Daz says, for fuck's sake, Assassin.
Daz is cracking me up. So, Daz, do we say your name like Dazarus?
Dazarus, yeah. I keep saying Dazarius because I said that wrong one time and it's just stuck. You know what I mean? I was saying that a couple times wrong, so it's just stuck with me. I can't get rid of it, so I try to call him Daz, but sometimes I sneak back and call him the wrong thing. So I think it is Dazarus.
I feel like just saying like Dazarus is so fabulous with a Z. I just feel like it kind of flows. I don't know.
He is Fazarus. He is fabulous and Fazarus. Awesome support of the show. Everyone who's watching right now, the 26 people that's still watching, I know we got up to pretty high numbers during the show. Thank you so much for coming in and checking out the show. And if you're watching this afterwards, thank you for coming by, checking out episode 134. You can always find us at our individual outlets here, but also check out our website 4GwQPodcast.com. That's where you'll find reviews, articles, and all these episodes you'll have links to on that website as well. But if you want to watch through strictly through YouTube, you're probably already doing that now, and if you're not, go and subscribe to us. We'd really appreciate that. And watch us on YouTube, 4 Guys with Quarters. Just search that. Also, Twitter, huge for us. That's how you get in touch with us collectively and hear about times for the shows and giveaways and stuff like that. 4GwQPodcast. Make sure you guys are following that on Twitter. Also, Assassin, you been answering any of the questions on Facebook, or are we gonna have to give ownership over to Taylor for good? Okay, looks like Taylor's getting there pretty soon. All right, so 4GwQPodcast is our Facebook. Go ahead and like that, and expect some responses and stuff being posted because we're gonna give it to somebody who actually gives a fuck. So,
Well, I mean, Facebook is crappy.
Well,
so-
I mean, Inferno had to do a little bit of tweeting too. So
Hey, I was
Oh,
gone.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
helping my
yeah.
grandma because she's going back to doing some surgery on her knees again.
wait, she's going on her knees, or she's having surgery to her knees?
oh
She's
wow,
having surgery on her knees.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, all right.
that was good.
Just making sure. 'cause
Like
she's
her
pretty.
fifth time.
she's pretty
in like a
old.
year.
Yeah. So, well, good luck to her. All right, good luck to her. But we'll be there to help you out, bud. So, expect some responses from Taylor on that. So, Facebook.com/4GuysWithQuarters. Go like us over there. And, Twitch, Beam, we're on all those kinds of things. Just search for 4GuysWithQuarters. Follow us. Follow us on our individual things as well on Twitch because Taylor is going to be, going to be streaming Outlast, like she said, with Megan or doing a video or whatever. So look out for her Twitter for that kind of thing if you're interested in seeing two girls get absolutely giddy about Outlast 2.
And by giddy, you mean like crying.
Scared shitless. Yep. I do mean that. Yep.
And awesome reviews by Jizzle lately, man. I mean, he's been pumping those things out.
Yeah,
Huh?
Jizzle's been killing it. Yeah, so go to the website and look. We've been doing quite a few reviews lately. So, yeah, look at those reviews. I know Jizzle was like dead set on doing Thimbleweed Park, so we gave that code to him, and he did an awesome job on that. And Jizzle's probably like the biggest American Tetris fan I know. So he did the review for that. So pretty good job on both of those. Go check those out on the site. And yeah. Other than that, we'll see you guys later. Peace.
Bye.
Like,
That sounds a big